Welcome back to Inspired Siren. Today, as you can see, we are in the beautiful new game, Legend of Khiimori. Now, this game is, I did a little review on the demo, but I have been playing this game pretty, I would say an hour or two a day. And I wanted to make like a little extended video on some things that I wish I had known and just some different parts, especially now that they just came out with another update, as well as it was my husband's birthday recently and he requested that I make this video because he really loves watching me play this game. So first things first, I just started a new save here, so there's not a lot of the map, but I would just say go slow.
Easy.
Like, this game is so beautiful, and there is a lot to kind of discover, but you don't need to do it all in one, like, hard run. I think the first one I was, like, getting every cartography mission and every, like, request for, like, carrying and all this stuff, which is like it's fun, but also I think that it just misses some of the best parts of this game, which is just the beauty and kind of the world and the discovery and kind of getting to know your horse, getting to train your horse. So I would recommend, if I can tell you, start a save that's just like a slow save. Enjoy your time, enjoy kind of riding along with your little companion. Lots of the like breeding horses is really fun and everything. And there are people that have gotten some amazing horses with like amazing stats and stuff. But I would recommend just, slowing down, enjoying the time, like watching your horse graze, making sure your horse is well taken care of. So I guess that is just my overall tip, is just go slow. Like, this game is really pretty. It's really peaceful. It's one of those games that you could just kind of turn on at the end of the day and just really enjoy. So I recommend going a little bit slow. But without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to run back to camp real quick and then just show you the basic outline of camp and things I wish I had known right when I started. Okay, here we are in Tove. Now, this might have been obvious to people, but it was not obvious to me that there is a map. You can also toggle on the legend where it tells you basically everything that's in whatever campsite you are, whether it's your base camp or if you go to like one of the other camps, you can see kind of, oh, there's a stable here, there's a bed, there's just some like a village. Here's like a river area. So definitely like pay attention to that. But the basics of this are, if you're standing basically facing where you kind of get your main carrier missions. Let's hop off our beautiful Batu here. On the right here is a crafting table, which is used to craft some certain things like saddlebags and stuff. I don't know that the saddlebags are fully in place yet. I was able to craft and use the medium ones, but then was unable to use larger ones. So just be mindful of that. On the left of that is a cooking fire. Now, there are some things that require cooking fire, certain tonics and stuff. So if you're confused why you have all the ingredients to a tonic and it's not working, it's probably because you need a cooking fire or a crafting table to make something. Of course, we have the horse merchant, which apparently now sells, look at this horse just having fun in the background, sells all sorts of horses, specifically buying and selling based on skills now. So this horse is absolutely beautiful. I might have to come back for that one. And then down past the horse merchant, we have the cartographer missions, which will help you discover new places. Again, I recommend going slow because as fun as the cartography missions are, and like it's cool getting new places, then you have a lot of places spread out in the world, and when you're first learning, it's kind of nice to just have smaller areas. We have a merchant who sells, things, and this actually is where you get saddlebags that you buy when you level up certain areas. So I would maybe recommend just doing buying the saddlebags right now, just because I don't know if the crafting is fully fleshed out, and like, you might be bummed if you end up like crafting something and then not being able to use it. So that's my recommendation, but again, it's up to you. It's fun to go slow and explore. We've got a stable here, and you can kind of see on the edges of the corners of the screen, it tells you kind of where things are. One thing about camp, I already picked it up, but right here by the stable there is free hay every day, which is a great thing if you're getting started and you just want to have like a little bit of food with you. And then we have the breeding tent, which again, go slow, enjoy all your foals. Where we have our camp chest, this is where you can store basically all of your, extras. I tend to like hoard a little bit, so I like to keep a lot of stuff in here, and then I can just come and get it when I need it. And then your sleeping tent. Now, that is the basics of camp. There is like some people, if you talk to them, it works. Some people, they don't work yet, which is like, it's just early access. But I'm guessing there's going to be like a lot more fleshed out. But those are the basics. And then right here by this other tradesman, there's usually arrows too, which are normally there. I just happen to have already grabbed them today. So that is the basics of that. Now let's see if we can figure out where our horse is. We can get it. Maybe he's behind us. Okay, I think sometimes they just like pop up close by when you call them. So basics of horse care. Now I find that I can get my horses to graze like most easily if I just stand still in grass. So you just find some grass, doesn't matter where, anything that looks grassy, and if you stop, most often your horse will just start grazing naturally as it's doing here. So I find this is the best and easiest way to keep our horse fed. Also, I like the idea of giving them breaks, like when I'm riding. I find it more predictable when you're on them that they'll graze. Occasionally when you get off and you like, I don't know, gathering stuff, they will graze, but not every time. So just, be mindful of watching what they're doing. And the same thing with water. All you have to do is get them near water, and then you can go ahead and hop off, hit our horse care menu, and then just ask them to go get some water, and they'll kind of just do that naturally. So as long as you've got food and water, you're like pretty good. You can also pet them, which kind of increases their mood, and obviously there is different tonics. Most of them are really easy to craft, and most of the stuff that you need to craft is right around camp. So, maybe the first, day, do a lot of gathering, do some crafting, go slow. As far as training, they did just upgrade this. It used to be, I'm still kind of getting used to it. It used to be that you basically had to be horrible to your horse to train them, and this seems to have maybe balanced it out a little bit, where there are still harder conditions, like riding in freezing weather, riding in hot weather will increase their endurance, but it's not like you have to make them do that without a tonic. You have to have them have frostbite for that to work, which I think is a little bit nicer, especially in a game where we're taking care of our horses. Also, how freaking cute is this horse? Oh my gosh. And in the training panel, it will tell you basically how to do, oh my gosh, it's going to itch like a dog. That's really cute. It will tell you how to do things. So if we just go on this basic one of strength, it says ride with full health, swim, ride up slopes. So what we can do is, there's just some water right here. We can just hop in this water and go for a swim. I believe the skills level up every 15 or 30 seconds, and it's just at the top left of your screen. You'll see where it says 1 strength, over by where your saddlebag balance is. Keep an eye on your stamina bar, but this is just like an example of how you can train your horse. Apparently I'm also training Spirit for some reason. It might be because he's got really good health. So that is the best way to train your horses, is just be mindful of the different ways it says you can train and then work on those. Now, I apparently part of the horse update was that they allowed space for like better trained horses to sell for more money. I tend to get really attached to them and don't want to sell them, but if you're breeding a lot or training a lot and you want to sell, horses that you're not excited about or something. Apparently that is true. I have no evidence on that quite yet. I just started the save with the new update, so we'll see what that looks like. But that's the basics of training. I highly recommend training your horses. It seems like they just in general function a lot better, obviously, because they're well trained. They have more endurance. They're able to kind of hold more roots and stuff. Again, going slow and training your horse along the way is a really good way to kind of just like ease into that instead of force training, which I think they took care of with some of the things. So, whoa, I was not paying attention, walking into a wall here. Next thing I want to touch on is extra builds around the world. So if you go into your map, you will see, like over here in Thule, I have gotten a star here, and I have found that every time you get a star, or even just like along the path of one star, you often are able to build things. So if you can see, there's a little symbol on the left that looks like an X, and that is a building symbol, and you will find those all throughout the world. There's one here. I think I saw one over here. Now these are world improvements. So the ones that I find most helpful are campsites. Once you get a high enough rank at certain posts, you can get a campsite, which is obviously really helpful because sleeping is the best way to get your horse back to health and happy. But there's also world improvements. So if we look at this one, I've already discovered this. Once you discover it, it will tell you what it is. Okay, there's a bridge here. I need 20 stone to build this bridge. So let's pop over to that bridge and I'll show you what that means. Okay, and here we are at our bridge improvement. Now, before they are built, they look just like this, right? Where you have, okay, there's a flag that tells you there's an improvement that can be made, and you go ahead and build the bridge. Now, I already gathered stone. Sometimes they need stone, sometimes they need wood. The campsites often need cloth, so make sure you're gathering fiber and crafting cloth along the way. And then you can just go ahead and complete. And once you do that, go ahead and builds a bridge. So this is really helpful. This particular crossing isn't too crazy. But it is extremely, look at this beautiful horse. It is extremely helpful on like big gorges, or if there are places where you need to cross between like two snowy areas, and otherwise you have to go all the way back down the mountain and then all the way back up. So I find this one, where is it? It's over here somewhere. I think it's around here. But I find them to be really helpful. Campsite's the most helpful. Bridge is also really helpful. The other thing I realized is that when you build a camp chest, which is an option for an improvement, your resources kind of follow you. So you don't have to go back to Tov to get all of your resources that you've kind of stored in your chest. They just follow wherever a camp chest is. So that is one thing that I highly recommend doing. And while we're over here, let's go take a look at campsites. Oh, also be mindful when you're out and about. You might run into a chest, which you can loot, as well as, I just got some coins from that, as well as there is apparently now bandit caches, which if we find one along the way, we will cut it down, where you can use a rope cutting arrow, which is something you can craft, and get, whatever is caught in that cache. I think I've gotten some ointments before. I've gotten coins, that type of thing. So that's always helpful. And now we're coming up here on a campsite. Now this campsite is just a finding a discoverable one, not a craftable one. Which means that you have to pick up your campsite. Which I learned the hard way. So when you camp somewhere, you can set up your camp. Great. Okay, we can set the camp up. Your camp is set up. You can often cook there. You can rest. Your horse is here. Now, you can ride away from these, but if you don't, like, as you can see, my camp gear is not in my inventory. If I don't pick my camp back up, it it will stay here. So you need to pick your camp back up. So let's just rest until sunrise. Our horse can get well rested. We're just gonna hang out here while the sun's coming up. Now, don't get on your horse and ride away. Tear down your campsite, and then it is back in your inventory. Over here is where it is. Now, when you craft a campsite at a upgraded camp or whatever, where you've gained the reputation, you've crafted the campsite, you actually don't have to pick those up. Those stay. But if you are just at a discoverable campsite, don't forget to pick up your camping gear, because if you don't, you will have no camping gear at other campsites. So, just word to the wise. Now, the other thing you can do is when you find these ruins, there's often a lot of lootable gear here. So I just got 12 arrows from that. They're kind of spread sometimes. I need to fix my balance in a second, but there's often a save point here, which is really helpful. And then once you complete the ruins, it'll just pop up a thing that says it's completed, although I don't think I fully got this one. Maybe that's not what you required. And then a little check mark will pop up, which means, okay, you've gotten the stuff from here. Also, it is very important that you balance your horse. The horses are like normal animals. If they're unbalanced, they will fall and get hurt, and nobody wants that. Oh, here is actually something I was not planning on doing. A lost cargo. Let's inspect this and see where it's going. Woodcutter Kachu, which I'm actually kind of close to them. So let's just go ahead and accept that, and it will pop up, and then we will go deliver this on our way to our next stop. They're also discoverable. This is a redstone turtle. Now, the steals that you get from these turtles are in what looks like hostile areas. This is a hostile area right here. Anywhere where you see this little stacked stone, that means there's a stone turtle there. And as you grab steals along your way, you can place them. It's apparently supposed to help you get stamina. I have found it to make my stamina drain faster, but that could just be like an early access issue, and that will be fixed eventually, so I wouldn't give up on it yet. Like, it's kind of maybe it's in process. Anywhere on the map you see a question mark, there is something discoverable. Now, this is not always good. It's often animals that are trying to eat you, so just be mindful of that. Like, I can hear the wolves right now, and they're just to the right here, but so this is a wolf hunting ground. Now I have discovered this. I find the animals really hard to hunt like this. I much prefer to just run away, but maybe you're braver than me and you want to do that. Obviously, the rabbit and the deer don't come for you. They just run away. Those are good places to get like hide or animal bone or animal fat type of thing. But the wolves and the bears, they come for you. So just be mindful of that. And sometimes the questions are good. Sometimes the questions are like ruins or an ovo type of thing. Speaking of ovos, let's go check one out, and we can talk about how to both ease the rain as well as get an extra special gift. Now, next thing to know is, as you have probably noticed, sometimes your cargo cannot get wet or broken or whatever. For the most part, if you avoid riding really hard and don't ride through like a bunch of mud if you have something pristine, don't make big jumps or stumbles if you have something fragile. But the one thing that's really hard is the stuff that is water sensitive. So we often cross these things that are called ovos on the paths. Now, they're basically storms, and the best way that you can kind of ease the storm for a while is to offer a prayer at them. So as you can see, when we get closer, the screen has this crazy effect of getting really like dark and rainy and all this stuff, but in offering a prayer, we are able to kind of ease the rain and make it easier to travel through these areas. So when you get close, you can see exactly where it is. If you can't find something, literally it's where the symbol is. So don't, like, just go straight to the symbol. Same for the stone turtles. So once we will offer our prayer here, which is just 5 cherry, 5 thyme, 5 fiber. We'll complete that, and then once you complete it, it kind of eases the storm a little bit, and I don't know if you have to leave and come back, but oh yeah, okay, so the storm is easing, and then it will spit out these things called star flowers. Now the star flowers are used to create and like craft especially strong tonics, and so you 100% want to collect these. They always pop out every time there's a sometimes they're hard to collect if you're not on horseback, so if I can't find one, I'll often just like grab my horse and then go over there on horseback. But 100%, like, it's good for not only avoiding like certain weathers, but also just getting these star flowers, which can be used to craft more powerful tonics. And for me, they last like a little bit, but not forever. I find that I have to kind of keep doing them. Luckily, often the stuff, I mean, we just had fiber, which is right here, cherries, and thyme, which I can see them all like within a few feet of that ovo. So you can just grab stuff around. The other thing I recommend is in your inventory, keeping about 5 of most things. Because as you kind of go, oftentimes there is a completion request or a collection request at like places that you're delivering, and when there is and you happen to have 5 in your inventory, you can just go ahead and use it, and then that basically gives you the same amount, at least right now it's the same amount of money that you get from doing a full carry mission. You just get it just from delivering stuff. So the same thing is true of a lot of places. Basically any zone that is where like a corruption zone, a stone turtle, a hostile area, anything that you can see, you just want to check that out. Like, and if you're confused about what to do, often you just have to go to the symbol, and it will work. So all that being said, Legend of Khiimori is a beautiful game. I will say that I'm a little confused by all the breeding stuff. I tend to just like seeing what comes out naturally, but I've heard that if you have cherries and I think cowberries inside of Nara's inventory, so right in this like smaller inventory, you can add blessings to certain like horses and how they look. You can add those around, so you can check that out too. Maybe I'll make a further in-depth video of breeding if people are interested in it. I will do a little dive with you, but for the most part, this game is an amazing early access game right now. I highly recommend. Just get used to it, play it a little bit, go slow, enjoy this like beautiful, like, as far as I can tell, pretty accurate, like, historical Mongolia. And also, quick plug here is if you haven't watched the movie Eagle Huntress, I bawl every time I watch that movie, but something about this really reminds me of that, and like how like beautiful and powerful this like game is, and like how women can just rule the world. Anyways, so thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want to see more of this game, or if there's other games you'd like to see more of, and I will catch you next time. Bye!